Good Monday morning, everybody. Chris Allen with your weather podcast for this October 13th. We already have rain and thunderstorms over the area, and today could be an active weather day. In fact, it is a severe weather alert day for the entire WBKO viewing area. We've got a couple of things going on here. First of all, we have a flash flood watch that's in effect for pretty much the entire area. The only counties that are not included in the watch area are back to the west of us. But that flash flood watch is going to be in effect all the way through Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Yeah, more than a 24-hour period. That's because we're going to see several waves of heavy rain and thunderstorms move through the area. We're getting the first wave of activity right now as I look at Doppler Max radar in HD at 4:33 a.m. Central Time. Pretty good coverage of rain this morning. Nothing is severe. They're all sub-severe thunderstorms. They're fairly strong with some drenching downpours of rain, some vivid lightning. There's a little bit of gusty wind out there, but nothing as far as hail-producing thunderstorms or anything that would be categorized as a severe thunderstorm. And in order for that to happen, winds have to be in excess of 58 miles per hour and or 1-inch diameter hail. That's about the size of a quarter. So we're seeing none of that this morning, but that's not to say we won't have maybe a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings with this first wave of activity. But for the most part, the instability, the surface dynamics, a little bit on the lighter side since it is the overnight, early morning hours. But that will change, we think, as we get into the afternoon and evening. And that's why we need you to pay attention to the weather. Know the weather before it knows you, as we always say. The setup here is one that we could see this round of thunderstorms this morning. Then, if the sun comes out, you've heard this drill before. If the sun comes out between the first wave of activity this morning and the second wave of activity this evening, that will aid in the surface instability. That is the sun's energy, the heat, heating up the surface of the earth and causing buoyancy in the atmosphere, and that usually gives rise with the low-level jet and the wind fields and provides shear, and the shear needed to maybe produce rotating thunderstorms, which could become severe and maybe even cause a few tornadoes. Now, the greater tornado threat is going to be back into western Kentucky, the Boot Hill of Missouri, parts of Arkansas. That's going to be the target zone, I think, for any real tornado threat. Our tornado threat is fairly low, but that's not to say we won't have a few tornado warnings or maybe even a tornado watch that could be issued later today for this evening. And here's the deal. The severe weather, the second wave of severe weather would come through probably after you come home, drive home from work, and have your sit-down supper, and then you get ready close to going to bed. So we need you to be on guard. Keep your NOAA weather radios tuned on and in alert mode. And if you have not signed up for our free text alerts, you can go to WBKO.com. You can sign up for the text alerts there. We've got a link, a special link on our WBKO.com homepage where you can see some of the severe weather items there. And if we do have wall-to-wall tornado coverage, certainly we'll activate our live stream so that you can watch our coverage via WBKO.com or even on your device. If you have internet on your phone, you can have that and watch it if it becomes necessary. If it doesn't, then we'll just run the crawls, and then we'll do occasional updates through commercial breaks. That way we won't interrupt regular programming unless it's an emergency. And then, of course, we'll do that. So I just wanted to get you set up on what to prepare for today. The what's coming through this morning, mostly just a lot of rain. Just watch for ponding of water on roadways, a lot of standing water. There could be some minor flooding issues. And then more torrential rain, and then the threat for severe weather comes later this evening and even overnight And we're even going to continue with the rains tomorrow, the heavy rains on Tuesday. Therefore, the flash flood watch that's in effect through 7 p.m. Tuesday evening for the area. Okay, reviewing the numbers from yesterday, your Sunday, 76 was the high temperature. We had a little bit of sun breakthrough, and then you could feel it was getting more humid after a very cool and misty kind of a gray day on Saturday. A big change there. The warm front has come through. 76 the high yesterday, 73 the average. That's a 3-degree difference. 56 was our official low temperature. 47 is the average low. That's a 9-degree difference. 1 year ago, we had a high of 80 and a low of 48 back in 2013. Now, before midnight, no rainfall at the Bowling Green Airport, but since then, already this morning, Kentucky Mesonet network stations showing anywhere from a half inch to almost an inch of rain, especially west of Interstate 65 this morning with some of the showers and thunderstorms that are moving through as we speak. And those totals are only going to go up, my friends, over the next 24 to 36 hours. An 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms likely this morning, breezy and warm. We'll see a high of 79, and then by midday, early afternoon, we're going to get a break. And let's hope that we can keep a lot of cloud cover in here instead of getting sunshine. If we get sunshine, that is going to aid the instability, as I mentioned before, to help fire up the second wave of showers and thunderstorms tonight. 100% chance of rain and thunderstorms. Some of those could become severe. As I mentioned, severe weather threat of damaging winds, large hail, torrential rains, and the possibility of even a few tornado warnings. That doesn't mean we'll have tornadoes, but certainly there could be enough spin in the atmosphere that Doppler radar could detect enough rotation to maybe put down a couple of tornado warnings. We'll just have to see, and all that depends on the instability that we get later today. A low tonight of 66. The torrential rain, that's a sure bet, though. That's going to happen. It's happening now, and it's going to happen again tonight. So aside from any other severe weather threat, flooding and heavy rains are certainly going to be the deal here over the next 24 to 36 hours, as mentioned. So as we get past Columbus Day today, and we get into the day on Tuesday, continued 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms and more heavy rain as the flash flood watch continues, a high of 71. Now, on the back side of this system, there's going to be some backlash moisture that moves back in during the day on Wednesday. So we're going to keep in a 50-50 chance of showers and thunderstorms at a much cooler 61 for a high. By Thursday, we begin to see this system finally pulling away from us, and just a 30% chance of a shower and a high of 72. The upcoming weekend looks great, though. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, mostly sunny, comfortable, highs in the mid to upper 60s to low 70s. Overnight lows in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees. But again, know the weather before it knows you. This is a severe weather alert day. Share this podcast with anybody you know. It's on Facebook. It's on Twitter. It's at Spreaker.com. It's at TuneIn Radio. It's at iHeartRadio. So a lot of folks have those apps and listen to podcasts and music, and you can share that with anybody that you think might need to know this sort of information. Again, how bad it gets later today and tonight depends on the amount of instability that we get between this morning's rain and the second wave of activity that comes through later today. We will, of course, keep an eye on it. In the meantime, God bless, and thank you as always for listening to the podcast. Know the weather before it knows you. I'll see you live at 5:30 on AM Kentucky, and, of course, streaming live to the WBKO app and to WBKO.com.